So it's May 1st, 2012. I'm on Race Road in Howard County, and what I'm doing today is I'm scouting out the area where there's going to be an organization coming out to clean up here, Baker Group. And what I'm doing this weekend coming up is I'm meeting with them. We're going to clear out the areas and make sure they have access to the existing junk in the woods, and make sure that all the volunteers that show up the following week are going to be able to get to everything and get everything hauled up to the road with no trouble. So we're gonna meet in about 4 or 5 days and do that prep work. So what I want to do is just kind of take you through, kind of show you the area, what it looks like now, what it looks like. I'll get some more videotaping done during the prep work, and then again, of course, during the cleanup event itself. This area in front of me here is what I call the Race Road Mesa. This entire area in kind of a big semicircle goes all the way around. Probably for a quarter acre, maybe even half an acre, has been fill area. Lots of stuff's been dumped here over the years. So what we're going to do is clear some areas like this. There's some sort of existing trails in here. I'm not sure if this is from people walking regularly or just a natural deer trail. But there's some places that are kind of well trod in here, and we're going to try to clear this out a little bit, so people, when they start hauling things out of here, like tires, some appliances and the pieces that go with that, we'll have a designated place to do that rather than just blazing a trail each time through random sections of woods with brambles and everything else that comes with that. So here is the drop-off. You can see it kind of slopes down into the valley here, and then the river's beyond a little further up there. The drop-off happens here, and lots of places like this we have junk that's just kind of sticking out of the side of this mesa here. Some steel pipes or galvanized pipes. We got, looks like a washing machine down here. There was a bicycle here I pulled out that was easy to grab. But here's a piece of pipe here that came loose. Some of this stuff is going to be really hard to get out because it's kind of surrounded by some asphalt, mix of dirt and asphalt, and in some places the asphalt is hardened really well. But I think if we work at it over time, we'll at least get the stuff that's visible out of here. Now there is a ditch that kind of runs along the length of here, parallel to Race Road this way. There's some places where you can cross, other places where it's pretty hard to get across if it's rained recently. The river's down there ahead of us, and this is through here, and you'll kind of see, I believe this is part of the pipeline right-of-way. Kind of goes through the woods this way. It kind of makes a jog to the left, and then it goes straight for, I don't know, maybe a quarter of a mile or so, and then eventually hooks up with Race Road again. They're kind of running through the woods back here. So some of it has become an area where water is flowing. Actually, you can see the marker right up here, if you look. The pipeline right away. Looks like it says sewer. And this is fairly open down here because this is all from wash coming up from the river. This is pretty sandy all in here, so it doesn't get a lot of growth. The sand has kind of kept down the plants as opposed to back there where it's pretty dense. Here closer to the river it opens up a lot, so it's a lot easier to get around. We do have an area here that I've dug in the past, and we do have some pieces of metal that are still here. It looks like a steel case desk. The TV is still here. Some things I brought from the river back this way in one of my early episodes. One of the first couple episodes I showed you this area. There was a refrigerator here. I was joking about how difficult it was going to be to get out of here. It was actually up against this tree and bent. The top of the refrigerator was bent around this tree. The tree probably grew up next to it and forced it over. And it was jammed between those two trees. Well, somebody actually came down here. One of our scrap metal friends came down here and dug it out and hauled the scrap metal off. Did leave some things for us behind. We still have the pieces of the desk in here that could be dug out, and hopefully we're going to start tackling that when the Baker group comes over. And we've got over there in the woods as well, not too far, there's another one over there, a refrigerator or a freezer unit on its side. And then further down the river here, this is what I call the Beaver Frat Party. This is formerly a huge log jam in the middle of the river. It has since broken free. but there's still plenty of wash and all this kind of stuff here. It's just styrofoam bottles, aluminum pieces, toys, kids' toys, lumber. All this needs to be gone through and get all these bottles out of here. Pieces of the log jam that were in this area previously kind of came down this way and kind of got stuck there. So there's some junk, a little bit of junk mixed in with that, but most of it broke loose and has drifted downstream. There are some tires, like here in the river. Here's a piece of metal or a sign or something that's out there. We'll get that out of there. And between here and probably for the next 200 yards, there's a number of tires. There's actually you'll see some tires lodged up against the side of the river sometimes. Sometimes you have to get really close to where they are and look down in the water, and you'll see the ghost of a tire down in there underneath some mud. There's one right there. What I'm going to do is walk down along the sewage pipe right away, which goes down through the woods here. It's kind of open. Walk back in there, and there's a couple places where you can pop out of the river, and I'm going to give you those viewpoints too. So we have some chunks of styrofoam here and there, and these came out of the inside of like a refrigerator door or something like that. I see lots of this kind of stuff. The appliance is no longer here, but the styrofoam remains. So we'll make sure this is clear and people can get in throughout here without having to worry about the sticker bushes. We'll just beat that down a little bit. A little deep for a crossing here for most people. There's some other spots like over here. There's a gravel bar that goes probably most of the way across. We'll find for people that want to go over and get some other things, like across here I see a piece of pipe in the sand over there. We'll designate those spots so people know the easiest place to cross and only get their ankles wet rather than all the way up to their waist. Continuing northward, I see some things up there on the trail. I think I put those out there because it's a spot where I wanted to make sure I didn't forget about. Right up there towards the river, there's either a log jam or some large object I wanted to make sure we didn't forget about. So here's a few things I found in the area. Basketball, some kind of chunk of styrofoam from something, insulation maybe. And there's access here. A little bit of a trail. Nice gravel bar out here, big log jam. We got all kinds of, a lot of this probably came from upstream where the beaver frat party was. And as with most of these sites, we always have things like flip-flops. I'll leave that there for someone else to discover. It's always fun to discover things that are really bizarre. It puts a smile on your face when you're out here doing work. Looks like there's a wash tub or some kind of piece of metal rusting away there. So this is a good place to cross over. Nice and shallow. You get over to the other side and start weeding through that pile jumble of sticks and trash over there. The downstream, you can see from here, I'll walk down there in a minute. You see down the river, it's like the wall from like a dog house or something. It's hard to say what that is. There's something down there lodged up against the bank. So plenty here, plenty back at the original beaver frat party. And I'm going to walk down a little further and show you the big prize that I'm hoping we can at least get started on, if not get all the way to the road on this cleanup. So here's the probably the companion of the one I saw on the river just a minute ago. Looks like it may be the opening to a doghouse. I don't know, bird box. Who knows? Who knows what that was? So there's the other part of it right there, it looks like. And right across the river, we have my friend, the monster tire. That's going to be some work. I think it's doable. If we get the mud out of there, I think, and some strong guys, we might be able to roll that out of here. We'll see. So the right-of-way does continue north here. There is a downed tree. Let's walk up and see it. There's a downed tree there, and I think that would be like the limit of where we want people to wander for the cleanup for Baker Group on this event. So that's going to be their kind of sign to turn around. And I'll put a sign up here just to make sure people know. Don't try to get past there. I mean, we can spread out, but it's nice to just focus on a certain area. There's plenty to do in this small area that I've shown you already that needs doing. So in 3 hours with 15 to 20 people, we'll be plenty busy. So heading back south again along the right-of-way here, one of the other things I want to accomplish on our day, just for the logistics days, to get everything set up, make sure everybody has access, is to establish some kind of path from here to the road. It's pretty flat. We don't have to worry about climbing the hill like we do back here and then up the mesa to the road level. It's definitely higher over there. So I'd like to establish some kind of a clear path through here that we can haul things, potentially like that big tire, other tires and things we hauled out. So we don't have to haul it all the way up to the mesa and then up to the road. We could just have one spot where we can just kind of blaze through here. I think that's possible to do, so we just need to get the people out here with our trimmers and things and map it and scope it out and see what we can do. So this is the other refrigerator I mentioned that's still in the ground, or a freezer. It looks like potentially a lot of digging, so we might not be able to get that out. Right, we can just get the door out of there, but the river is straight up ahead here. The river bends around, comes around, heading towards the road. It gets pretty close to the road over here. That's kind of the furthest point we want people to venture south. Between the mesa over here and the point where the river comes close to the road, there are some places where there's been 2 new TVs that have been dumped. We might be able to see those from the berm along the side of Race Road. If you look down that hill, you'll see a couple of TVs. So here I am at the mesa, the base of the mesa. I'm heading around the south side of it now. So here's a little place where stuff had been dumped for a while. Actually, I just stepped on something here. It's like a piece of metal here. Piece of a galvanized pipe or something. Like I said, this whole hillside has got things jutting out of it. Here's some pipes here. Tire here. Which I'm surprised I missed. I've been here through here a lot in the last year. Surprised I missed that. That's a pretty easy thing to grab and haul out of here. All right, so a little further up on the south side of this mesa, it's hard to see them kind of close to it now. There's a ramp that was a place where somebody could drive a vehicle down to the valley down here and dump more things, do off-roading, whatever they wanted to do. There was a way to come down here. And then down here, you'll see some bricks. Lots of things being dumped here, concrete blocks. Here's a piece of pipe. Here, down here, you got, looks like a leg from some kind of appliance table. Who knows what that is? A big twisted piece of galvanized pipe. There's a TV over there. You see the cover from the TV, picture 2 maybe. Some of those have been dumped recently. There's another one over there. It's been dumped recently too. So here on top of the berm, this big long berm that goes all along the side of the road, and you can see down in there, it's the TV that somebody dumped in the past few weeks. One more thing, we'll get it. We'll get it. Can we do it? Yes, we can.